G'day and welcome back to the channel. As a follow-up to my video recording on Linux, I thought I would dive a little deeper and provide some technical information to anyone who is new to Linux and is thinking of setting up a Linux system for recording. Now, the good news is you don't have to entirely scrap your Mac or Windows operating system. You can actually dual boot your machine and run both operating systems on the same box. To make this work, Linux provides a basic menu each time the computer is rebooted, allowing you to select which OS you want to run. I would recommend that if you're not familiar with Linux, to go with Ubuntu over Debian, simply because Ubuntu has a flavored version geared for recording called Ubuntu Studio. While Debian and Ubuntu are identical as far as what's under the hood, Ubuntu Studio will install and configure all the necessary packages required to have a functioning DAW. Debian, which doesn't have a flavored version for recording, will require you to install everything manually in order to get your DAW up and running, which is good for power users who want to fine-tune their system. Another nice thing about these Linux versions is you can try them out before committing to the physical installation, because the OS can be run from a USB memory stick. You will need a minimum 8 GB USB memory stick to burn the ISO image. To create the bootable USB stick, a good software choice is Balena Etcher because it supports Windows, Mac, and Linux. Just follow the instructions on how to burn the ISO image to the USB stick from the link in the description box below. If you decide that you like what you see or you are ready to take the plunge and set up a dual boot machine, I would highly recommend that you back up your hard drive first of all your personal files. Not because the install will blow away your disk. The Linux install is actually very user-friendly, and you would really have to not be paying attention for your disk to be reformatted. It's always better to be safe than sorry. Also, before you do anything, make sure you have at least 32 gigabytes of hard drive space available, though Ubuntu recommends 64 gigabytes for a DAW, so you might have some cleanup to do. I would also recommend using a computer with at least 8 gigabytes of RAM and a computer that has a dual-core 2 GHz processor. Of course, anything better will produce better results when it comes to recording and mixing. Make sure to download the AMD 64 ISO, which is for Intel or AMD systems. I found a great video that walks you through the entire process on how to set up a dual boot for your Windows 10 machine. The link is also in the description box below. These instructions will be similar for any Windows 8 stragglers out there. There's also a walkthrough I found for setting up Mac computers. I can attest to the dual boot working on Macs, having dual booted a Mac Mini with Ubuntu a few years ago. Once you have a functioning Linux system, you will immediately find it quite similar to Windows or Mac. To help you get acquainted with the interface, I have provided a link to the Windows equivalent applications. I also prepared a quick help guide on learning some basic commands, which you can find on either one of my websites, owltracksmusic.com, or my personal website, swhitworth.com. Again, links are in the description box below. Well, that will be all for today, so please like and subscribe if you enjoyed the content and ring the notification bell to stay up to date on my latest videos. Bye for now.